Shalom and welcome to Jerusalem Hebrew's weekly reading of the top 10 most frequent words in each week's Torah portion. This week's Torah portion is Parashat Vayigash. It is found in Genesis chapter 44, verse 18 through chapter 47, verse 27. Lachem, lachem. Remember, when you see this little symbol on the top of a letter, that's letting you know which part of the word should be accented. Lachem and not lachem. Lachem. Lachem means to you all or for you all. Lachem is a plural you. So it's like saying y'all, to y'all or for y'all. Right? The la means to or for, depending on context. Lahem, lahem means to them or for them. Hem is the third person plural suffix. Goshen, Goshen. That's the land of Goshen. It's most likely in the eastern half of the Nile Delta region in what technically is in northern Egypt, but they would actually call that historically uh, lower Egypt. Um, so Goshen was where the Israelites were settled during the years leading up to the Exodus. And the word Goshen possibly means cultivated or fertile or rain, depending on what you or what researcher or scholar you're looking at. Some hold that Goshen may be a Semitic simplification of the name of a Egyptian place or a nearby lake, sort of a Semitized pronunciation of an Egyptian word. But others hold that it's related to a Akkadian or an Arabic or a Aramaic word, which has to do with fertility and cultivation. Uh, Perhaps that's why the Israelites wanted to be there, because the land was good for cultivation and for flocks. If it means rain, it could also be related to Hebrew Geshem, because the letter M and the letter N, Mem and Nun, often interchange among Semitic languages. And it may also be related to the Hebrew word meaning lageshet. So Goshen is like they're approaching as you approach toward Egypt. Well, you're basically already there. As you approach towards the seat of power of Egypt, rather. Anyhow, Goshen was most likely in the eastern half of the Nile Delta. Number 4, Gam. Gam means also or even. Number 5, Avodacha. Avodacha. So the cha suffix means your. If you notice, the syntax is different from English. In English, we put the your before the thing that belongs to you. And in Hebrew, we put the your at the end. So aved, that root word means one who serves or works. Avadeh is like saying avdeh, servants of, workers of. And the cha is yours. So servants of your is how you would say your servants in Hebrew. Avadacha. Avadacha. Number 6. Wayitan. Wayitan. And he gave. Literally means and he shall give. The tense is reversed due to the reversing wall. Number 7. Nathan. Nathan means he gave. Nathan. Number 8. Wayove'u. Wayove'u means and they came. The u suffix is the plural form of a verb. It's a plural suffix, and when it has a yud attached at the beginning, it is third person plural. If it would be a tav at the beginning, it would in a u at the end, then it would be a second person plural. In this case, it's a yud, so it's third person plural, i.e. they. Wayove'u. And they came. Literally, it's and they shall come. The tense is reversed due to the reversing wall. Number 9, wa'atta, wa'atta. Do not confuse the Hebrew word wa'atta with an ayin with the other Hebrew word wa'atta, which means and you. Wa'atta and you is with an aleph, and wa'atta is with an ayin. All right. Wa'ata with an ayin means now. Do not confuse this word with the common word wa'ata with an aleph. Number 10, nafesh. Nafesh is a soul or a person or a life. If you think about it, these are all basically synonymous. It literally comes from a Semitic root word meaning breath. So it's as if you would poetically say, perhaps in English, that the breaths of many were snuffed out. If you wanted to say that many lost their lives, that many's the that many breaths were snuffed, so to speak. It's not the normal way you'd speak in English, but that gives you a sense of how this word means and is used in Hebrew. Nefesh. Top three most frequent two-word phrases in this week's Torah portion, Parashat Vayigash. V'chol asher. V'chol asher means all which and all which. Number two, Be'eras Gershon. Be'eras Gershon. Be means in or at or with. It can mean several things, actually. You have to understand from context what makes most sense. Be'eras Gershon means and in the land of Goshen. There is no the here, but it's also not simply implied because eros is always specific. Eros doesn't mean land, it means land of. So the definiteness of it is in the word. It's not just assumed, right? So you wouldn't just say he's in the Eretz, you would say he's in the Aretz. Aretz is land, period. Eretz is land of. Eretz Goshen, in the land of Goshen. Wayitan lohem, wayitan lohem, and he gave them. Wayitan, and he gave lohem, to them. Top three phrases that are four words and over in this week's Torah portion. Wasanam uvqaram v'chol asher lohem. Wasanam uvqaram v'chol asher lohem. Wasanam. The is there. Son is flock. So, and their flock. Uv, u means and, v means with. Ah, I'm reading this wrong. I apologize. U means and I shouldn't have put a dash here. So, u means and, vakar is cattle, especially beef cattle. And the is there. So, wasanam uv karam, and their flock. It's singular grammatically, but it's in English we would say flocks, and they're cattle, kind of like how cattle is technically singular in English, but it's referring to many. V'chol and all, asher that is, or which is, lohem unto them, meaning and all that is theirs. وَيَّمَرْ Yosef el-Aho. وَيَّمَرْ Yosef el-Aho. And Joseph said unto his brothers, Vayomer, and he said, who is the he? Right? The yud at the beginning lets you know it's a he. The letter yud lets you know it's a he, third person. And we need to know who is the he. Vayomer, and he said, who is the he? It's Yosef. So, and he, Yosef, said, El, to or toward, Aho, brothers, his. The his is added as a suffix. Aho. Is a brother. Aho are his brothers, plural. وَيَّمَرْ Yosef el Aho. Pasuk haba. Or next phrase. Vayivarech or Vayivarech Yaakov eth par'ah. Vayivarech Yaakov eth par'ah. Vayivarech. This is an example where modern Hebrew accent of a word is usually different from the accent of the same word in biblical Hebrew. They would be mutually intelligible. Vayvarech, vayvarech. You can hear that it's the same basic word. But it's a good example to show that modern Hebrew pronunciation is not always in line exactly with classical biblical Hebrew. Vayvarech And he shall bless. Who is the he? Yaakov, and Yaakov shall bless. How do we know it's past tense? Why the W, the wall at the beginning, is a reversive verb. It reverses the tense. So, and Yaakov blessed Eth par'ah. The eth is not existent in English. It simply tells you that the word which comes after it is the object that the previously mentioned action is directed toward. And it's only used for definite objects, not for indefinite objects. Par'ah is a definite object, is specified. So we need the word et. وَيِبَارَكْ يَعْقُوبُ eth par'ah. And Jacob blessed Par'ah. If you enjoyed this class and you would like to have access to more resources for learning biblical Hebrew and the classical ancient Hebrew pronunciation and other Torah-related articles, please subscribe and follow to Patreon /Authentic Torah. Shalom uvracha. Shabbat shalom.